Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I have a pretty fun game in the Iowa to showcase for you guys. I know today is update day, so hopefully everybody's ready for that. I know it's going to be kind of crazy, so get ready for some good videos in the near future. Some of the new content, we'll be bringing them out as we get a chance. But for now, you guys know the deal. I don't get the new ships on day one, so we've got just a good old-fashioned Iowa game to hold you guys over until I start getting cooked. Alright, so we're on Land of Fire. We're in the Iowa, and we spawn mid. Now, I like to try to pay attention to what's going on the map before I decide which direction I'm going to go, because I don't like to sit in the middle of this map very often, because it doesn't always end in my favor. However, sometimes it is a good idea to just hold. And that's kind of where we're going to be at in this situation. We're going to watch the right side. We've got the range to support both sides. That's one of the beauties of battleships in this game. Even though we have reduced range compared to PC, the maps are generally, or the spawns at least, are closer than they are on PC. So you can generally get some nasty shots almost immediately, especially from the middle of the map. But you got to be careful because, you know, crossfires giveth and crossfires taketh away. You know, just like being in a smoke screen works both ways. They can't see you, but you can't see them either. And the same thing goes for a crossfire. If you can shoot them, generally speaking, they can shoot you back. So you got to know where you can be and who can shoot you back. That's something that a lot of people don't get right. A lot of people don't care. They see the people directly across from them. They don't pay attention to where others can shoot them from. And I get caught in this as well. But as you can see, we've got a destroyer pushing into Bravo. Shocker. We have a radar cruiser that spawned with us who's going to back off to the back corner of the map. We're taking a shot over the island of the Georgia. And so far, we've done a pretty good job of keeping ourselves away from the enemy. We get some unfortunate RNG there against the Georgia, and we're just kind of paying attention. Now look at the right side. We have two destroyers over there. They've already captured the base. There's a Atlanta over there. There's a Georgia over there. Like, this could go horribly for us if we allow this to happen. So despite having two destroyers over there, we're going to try to help them with crossfires. We do have a New Jersey right next to us as well, and so they should be able to help us with the crossfire, and we just absolutely smash the enemy Georgia. And of course, you know, me being me, I am immediately thinking, okay, the biggest threat here, who is it? Georgia, getting rid of this guy. I thought that my teammates would finish this guy off. I was wrong. So we're going to go ahead and get ready to shoot the Georgia as well. I wanted to get going forward to avoid getting shot. And that's when I decide, okay, now's a good chance to try to shoot the Atlanta. While he's thinking I may be shooting at the Georgia, or that would be the obvious choice would be to shoot at the Georgia, I go for the Atlanta to try to get rid of him because that's where our destroyers are. We free up our destroyers, we win the game. That's just how that works. Georgia gets a very good shot on us, hits with all 4 shells that he sent in our direction. But as you can see, he goes down pretty quickly. Iowa is now broadside. The Atlanta is pushing around the corner into the direct line of fire of that battleship. We've got a Georgia right off our bow who's going to be running off towards the back of the map. Now, we know there's a destroyer in the cap with us. We know there's a destroyer off to our left side because that's where they've been spotted. This one hasn't been spotted, but we don't want to go around the corner, and we are correct in our assumption that torpedoes are in fact on the way. These aren't rocket science predictions, right? Like, it doesn't take Nostradamus to go, somebody just captured. You've got to be kidding me. That is so unfortunate. I can't even begin to express how unfortunate that is. Like, that torpedo could not have gotten any closer to that island without detonating. You know what I'm saying? But you know how it goes. If things can go wrong, they will. Now here, I could fire my guns, but that would only get me detected. There's no reason for me to fire my guns. Now you're going to see me start to get a little upset here. You're going to see I'm like, I'm requesting assistance. I need intelligence data. I have a radar cruiser behind me, and the one battleship that was here is f***ing off. So the fact that he's leaving means that our cruiser should be in a perfect position to help us get rid of this destroyer. But our cruiser is not thinking about helping getting rid of destroyers. Our cruiser would rather sit in the back broadside to everybody and hide behind an island and hope he never gets spotted. And that's fine in most situations, but then our New Jersey goes full ham, which you never want to do. Like, I appreciate the thought process, but at the same time, you gotta use your god-darn brain cells. Once in a while. Just a couple of times here and there is a good thing, to use your brain cells. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that there's a destroyer in the cap, there's an angry smokescreen shooting his guns and already sent torpedoes in this direction. Probably not a good idea to just pull up into the cap and go full broadside in front of him at less than 6 kilometers. Especially when I know for a fact that that guy's not even looking at that destroyer. But that's when I get my attention drawn to this Iowa. Now, I don't need to tell you guys the importance of being caught in a crossfire. We've already talked about this. You gotta know who can shoot you and who you can shoot. Here we go for superstructure because we can't hit anywhere else, so we have to shoot the superstructure to try to finish them off. Of course, our New Jersey goes down. Shocker. Nobody would have predicted that one, right? Our Baltimore has finally decided to grow a pair and is kind of pulling up towards us a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and once again, I was trying to come around the corner to shoot us, so we know this is going to be a thing. We take a shot at a superstructure. We're trying to get moving, and this could be devastating. Yeah, that stung. I'm very fortunate that he didn't Citadel me there. I couldn't get moving fast enough. See, that's one of the downsides of not running the propulsion mod on my battleships. I tend to run steering gears because I tend to be aggressive. And I need all the turning rate I can get. But here we've got a beautiful look at Asuja, and it doesn't get much better than this, folks. You look out over your guns, you pull the trigger, and they are nice and grouped, and plow! Only 3 shells hit, and only one of them are a Citadel. That is what you call unfortunate. Now, fortunately, our destroyer does the right thing, moves in, captures the base. They've done a great job of doing what they've got to do to grab the caps, despite them not like really doing much else other than grabbing the caps. But we are going to start to move forward and try to help here. Now, Z-23 gets spotted off the right side. You see a destroyer, you shoot a destroyer, right? We talk about this all the time, especially at these ranges. You cannot afford to leave the guy alive. And we absolutely smashed that man, hitting him with 7 out of the 9 shells that we sent in his direction. He is immediately taken out of the game. And that is a huge swing for our team. Now here, because I've pushed forward to try to help these guys, I've put myself in a bad place. This Georgia's still hanging around. There's another battleship over there, which I believe is a Brandenburg. And so we've got to be careful. Now, the Georgia, for whatever reason, is focused on the other battleship. So I'm going to take full advantage of this. I'm going to go for superstructure. And, of course, this is where we get the worst RNG on the planet. Now, notice I'm not driving straight at the Suja. I'm kind of going towards the island. Why is that? Because I'm expecting torpedoes. It's a Japanese cruiser. You know he's got torpedoes everywhere, so you just gotta anticipate it coming. And here you can see he's turning back. He's using the island as well because he knows that if he uses the island, my guns can't get to him. But I still have the rear turret of justice. Never mind. Too late. Unfortunate. But we have 24,000 hit points left. We have a Georgia out there who's very healthy. We have a Brandenburg coming over. We get angled away from the Georgia. There's the torpedoes from the Suja. Again, these are not Nostradamus level, what do you call them? What's the word I'm looking for? Prophecies, right? These are not Nostradamus level prophecies. You got to anticipate what the enemy's trying to do, trying to force you to do, or trying to anticipate you're doing. So here we've got a good look at the Brandenburg, but Brandenburg, to his credit, isn't just going to stay on broadside like every other German cruiser or battleship. He's actually going to start turning in. And then that's when the Fletcher gets spotted, and I just fired my guns. I've got no way to shoot the Fletcher, and the Fletcher is now going to be a problem for me because he's just going to sit here right next to me and spam AG. Now, I have a radar cruiser literally on top of me. Cannot get any closer to me if he wanted to, right? So I need that radar cruiser to wipe that Fletcher off the map. This Balti should easily be able to do so, and then you counter that, or you add to that there's a destroyer here. So I am going to go for the home run here and try to get rid of the Georgia. Georgia overmatches Balti. Guess who does not? Brandenburg. Suja. They don't overmatch Balti, but the Georgia does. So, if I can get rid of this Georgia, or at least make it to where he's very, very low health, I should be able to help our team hold this and win. Now look what our other destroyer did. He went straight over, grabbed the cap, right? He ain't playing around. He's playing to win. And this is something I've talked about so many times with destroyers. Play to win. Grab the objective. Spot for your team. Do the good things. Damage is tertiary for a destroyer. And of course, in true Spartan fashion, we leave him with just enough to get away. But we ended up with 131,000 damage done. The enemy has a one-ship advantage, and unfortunately, this game could go either way. We've got a Balti here that really hasn't shown much in terms of being able to I don't know, I guess position would be one thing, but he is doing one thing right here, which is turning and running. He don't need to be close to these guys, right? The closer he is to these battleships, the less likely he is to walk away from it. But if he gets out into the range, he can use his agility and use his fire starting and do some work over time. Jutland, he's getting out of there. He's like, nope, we ain't playing this game. And the other destroyer is sitting over there, and I'll be real honest, guys. We know that the Fletcher was left pretty low due to the fact that the Jutland and the Balti were shooting him, and you can see his health pool's pretty low. Suja is also low, and Georgia, we know, has nothing left. Surely the Georgia doesn't have a heal that he can heal some of that back, because there's like, we couldn't have left him with less health if we tried. I don't know how much health he's got, but we left him with literally nothing. But Suja has grown a pair. He's trying to get up in there. The destroyer, aka the Fletcher, is right there. The Brandenburg is kind of being a doof. This Brandenburg played so poorly at the end of this that it's kind of sad. Despite angling against me, he goes for the cap at Alpha. Look at the points difference. It's only getting worse. You wasting time going for a cap instead of just finishing off people that are spotted with your teammates and allowing your teammates to be focused down is easily the worst thing you could have done. And there you see the Georgia actually punches the Balti in the face. Now, fair play to the Balti here. Like I said, despite everything, the Balti doesn't play poorly at all. Like, it's not that it's poor play or anything like that. They're actually doing the right thing here. They're kiting away. They're using their agility to try to stay as far away from the Georgia as possible. Georgia is the one ship that can end him at any moment. But all we need is one shell to hit that Georgia, and we've got a Summers right here. Between the Balti and the Summers, surely they can finish off the Georgia, right? But that's when the Summers pulls out and goes straight for the Fletcher. Now, I'm not going to try to say yes or no here, but you got to take the shot. Now, here, he manages to get the shot out. He's got a smoke screen up. He misses, so he doesn't kill the Fletcher. He still hasn't shot the Georgia. Now, finally takes the shot at the Georgia, which, again, you got to prioritize targets. Who's the bigger threat here at the end of the day towards the win? And that is leaving those 18-inch guns reloading. Like, you just can't do that. Get him out of there as quickly as possible. As soon as you get a chance to shoot him, finish him. And then, of course, the marksmanship has been questionable from this Summers, but it's good enough. And he finishes off the Fletcher as well, and pulls forward to dodge the majority of the shells from the Suja. Now, these are all risks that didn't necessarily need to be taken. But getting 2 of the 4 ships that you were up against off the board is huge, either way you look at it. And then, meanwhile, our Jutland is torping the enemy Brandenburg and staying just outside of detection range. And there's no reason for him to engage. We got less than a minute left. The Suja could easily be finished off by our Balti, but again, there's no real reason for either of these guys to put themselves in any sort of danger. We have a commanding lead All they got to do is survive, and we win. We cannot lose unless the enemy kills us all. But fortunately, Baltimore manages to take down the Suja, leaving it just the Brandenburg left, who did in fact capture Alpha, but it's too little too late. And again, that's a situation where he should have stayed with his team and tried to support them as best he could. He's the one that had all the hit points. The Suja was relatively okay health. The Fletcher had no health. The Georgia had no health. They would have all been best suited keeping, you know, a little bit of distance, and then having the Brandenburg and the Suja take over at the mid-range to try to help. But unfortunately, or fortunately for us, that ain't what happened. But good job to the team, pulling it back, managing to secure the win, and doing the right thing. And the main thing to take away from this is the destroyers in this game for our team, who did the right thing by capturing the bases, putting our team in a good position, points-wise, to win the game. So if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.